this is gunguai, and this is the main blood tonic kind of herb that we're going to use. So we're going to make a veggie stock. Now, we talked about making this heaps and heaps of times before. So what I like to do is buy these soup packs because they're conveniently made, ready to go. Now, if you don't want all the plastic or whatever, you can just get them individually, the vegetables. You basically get like a turnip, a parsnip, and they're the main ones that you need. Like turnip, parsnip, onion, you need these root vegetables because they're the ones that make the flavour. And they're also the ones that have the most like benefit in terms of, this carrot looks a bit, sorry, I've got my own better carrots than that. And often what I think these guys do in the soup mix thing, so we've got our own carrot sort of here, looking better quality, so just put our own one in there. And you can mix and match this up if you don't want. You can make your own soup mix basically, but you're just gonna wash that. So yeah, you don't know what pesticides and stuff are on these things, what's been put on them. So it's good to give them a little bit of a soak, and then either scrub them or wash them and peel them, or however you make them. Now I don't have time for peeling.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I'm not that into peeling, and if I cut this onion up, I guarantee I'm probably going to cry on this video.
Turn around.
So what we're going to do is we're going to saute the mixture for the, it's going to be a bin container, that one. I'm going to saute the mixture for, this is a massive risk that I'll probably, tears will come to my eyes with this.
Every now and then I get a little bit lonely and you're never coming around.
Saute the onion because that brings out the flavour of the onion. And this soup mix is really quick to make. What I like to do when I'm not sure about cooking something is watch a YouTube video and sort of do it at the same time so that I know, like, you know, as they're doing it, I'm doing it. And they're kind of like my little friend talking me through it. So hopefully this can be like that for you. You can watch this and kind of do it at the same time. And that way I can be your little friend in the kitchen. I can already smell that onion. So what's good about onion in Chinese medicine is it's pungent. So pungent's an aromatic, moving flavour. You can already tell that by now because I can feel it burning my eyes. I don't have any tips about the onions not burning. I've heard people say put them in the fridge first or keep the little burny bit down, the bit in the middle, but it just never really works for me. And look, I've not, oh, there we go. I'm going to use my pan actually. There we go. So, I better turn the pans on, that would help. Just have it without a lid, but you can put a lid on it if you want to. And what this should have is a tiny bit of oil. Not too much because you don't want it to be oily. Like, we're trying to cook healthy, we don't want to have too much oil and fat in the cooking, but you want to have a little bit because you need it. Otherwise the onions are going to burn. I'm just going to go. So yes, my eyes were watering a lot from the onions, and then my camera ran out of battery, so I had to just quickly charge that. And so there's been I basically just paused what we were doing, but what I've done is I've transferred those onions into this pot here. So what we're going to be doing is making the base for the soup stock. Now you can buy one of those soup packs. What's good about that time is because that time's gone past, those veggies have had a little bit of time to just soak in the water a little bit. And now you can peel these if you want, or you can just cut them up. I'm not a fan of peeling because it's just another thing to do. And so we're just going to cut these up. So you want them roughly cut, just about the same size. If something's a big top bit there, these can be longer. It's just rough. And do the carrot. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you get a vegetable that looks a bit ruddy like that, and you may want to peel it. And what happens with these soup packs usually is They put the older vegetables in them. So if you saw my video about vegan, I was asked a question about vegans. What would be a healthy way to be a vegan and that kind of thing. And if you are, then you can make this. This is the soup, basically the exact soup I used to make all the time when I was vegetarian. And then mix blood tonic kind of Chinese herbs into the soup. Now, often I will peel this one because it's a bit rough on the outside. And I guess the good thing with peeling is it's going to get rid of the outside layer if there's dirt, pesticides or stuff like that. I mean, obviously they're going to penetrate through to the vegetable, but it gets rid of some of that stuff. So in Chinese medicine, root vegetables, like things that are grown underground, are much more nourishing to the earth element of your body, the spleen and stomach. And obviously potatoes would be a good example of that. But you notice that I didn't even wash that potato because I'm not even going to use that potato because I love potatoes. But I don't need to consume more potatoes. And I don't ever find potato to be creating any deliciousness or flavour in a stock. I don't think it adds anything to it. It's just a carb. And so I'm just going to piss that potato off. We don't need it. Yep. So this is just going to be the veggie stock. So what we're going to do is we've got the onion, which is just like you can probably see that. So a tiny bit of oil and it's just seared, so it's got the flavour out of it. And then we're going to put that onto the stove on a high. If you're not a vegetarian, you could add the chicken bones and make a chicken stock. But we're simply going to do that. And then we're going to add, now I did find the lid for that, so that's good. So that's just going to go on to high for now because we want it to come to a boil. I'm going to talk about the vegetarian stocks you can use. Now, the herbal stocks you can use. Now, this is a typical example of a kind of packet. I just bought this the other day in the Chinese food shop. The other kind of packets you'll see are these reddy sort of ones, this brand, and they'll have like 4 different herbs inside them. If you just want to add herbs to your cooking, just choose any old one, like they're just called soup packs. And then you get a variety of different vegetables and foods and herbs and things like that in them. So this one's called Shui Urchin Xin Run Fei Tang, right? So it's got the Chinese yam, it's got xingren, which are these little apricot kernels there, the white fungus, tremella. So white fungus is similar to the black fungus except it's white. And white has an affinity to your lungs. So I think I was getting this is more like you want to clear your lungs, you've got a cold and flu kind of situation happening or a bit more phlegmy. And it's also got honey date, so like the red dates, but a different kind of date. So that's going to add some sweetness into the flavour. So you've got yuju as well in here. Now, I've never actually used this one before, and I bought this more for a class that I was going to teach and just to explain, and also just so I could have an example of what the packets look like, because it's really bombarding in this Chinese food shop. You're like, what the hell are all these packets? Like, what do they all mean? You don't know. Now I'm going to put one that I recommend normally. It's just called Su Wu Tang, S-I-W Tang, and that formula. Another one. I need to find this because I was kind of lost, and that's alright. So this is dangui, and this is the main blood tonic kind of herb that we're going to use in this thing. Now you can, like I said, buy a packet like this, and the herbs are all kind of there, and there's lots of different sorts. So what I'm going to do is write down the herbs that are the main blood tonic herbs in the description below, and you can sort of go on there and check those out for yourself. But in this formula of the Su Wu Tang, now it's a generic-y kind of blood tonic formula. So we're going to just use a little bit of, that's a little bit of bar sharp, so I don't really want to put too much of that. That smells funny. Well, good funny, but all herbs have a funny taste. This one really smells like a very aromatic baiju. So this is in some other herbs, but baiju is good for dampness, so I'm going to put that in this for me because this is like good for me. Baijiu, and you can use ginseng. So like people love ginseng, you can buy. I saw ginseng today in one of these little red packets. Now ginseng's not cheap. 50 grams I saw today for $14.95. So that's like $30 for 100 grams, and it looked exactly like this. Now I actually paid $43. Put the price on the bottom. I paid $43 for 100 grams of this, which it's not a lot. Like that's probably about 3 grams there or something. So I'm going to put a tiny bit of this ginseng in there. Now, when you're cooking with herbs, Chinese herbs, there's a couple of things you can do. One is you can just throw the big bits of the herb in, and that they are, especially if they're about that big, then it's going to absorb the water and it puffs out a little bit and it obviously becomes stick-like, and then you can just pick it out of the herbs. That's what I normally do, pick it out of the soup. You can buy a little cloth bag, what's called a muslin cloth bag, and put the herbs in that and then put that in the water. Did we put any of this in there or not? Okay, so I put a little bit of ginseng, I put a tiny bit of baishao, and the main herb I want to use for this is the dangwei. This is the blood tonic herb, right? So if you're the vegan and this is a vegan herb, there's no animals in this dangwei, but this is the blood tonic type of herb. It has it's all herbs have their own smell, but dangwei has its own unique kind of smell, and that will flavour the soup. So what you need to do with the thing is make sure that they really just get covered by the water, because they need to absorb. These are sticks. They need to absorb. They're like woody. They need to absorb the water. Okay. Now, if a little bit of ginseng gets stuck into that, like gets mixed up in there, it's not going to be. That's not an offensive flavour to eat. It's not going to be. None of these are bad for you if you accidentally eat a little bit of the herbs in the thing. It's just in the recipe. What's going to happen is, like when you serve it out to your friends and family, they're going to be like, oh, what are these weird little sticks that are sticking in my throat when I'm eating them? So I don't mind it if it's for me. I can just eat around those little sticks, but just letting you know, that's one way to do it. Now this. So what we've done is we've just got the stock on now, and look, what you could do in the stock as well, if you want to make it more warming, because it's winter time in Perth now, where I live. Well, it's not freezing winter, but it is getting into winter. You can start to put a bit more warming into your foods, and that warm pungent is just going to help. So it's going to help the digestion and the earth of our body. A little bit of that ginger in there. So that's all into the soup stock. So now that's boiling away. I just actually want that on a low cook setting. What we could do is we could even put it into a slow cooker. I love slow cookers. But with all this cooking up that I'm going to do tonight, I think I'll use my slow cooker capacity. So I'll use the slow cooker for something else. So we'll just save that for now. So that's the first thing you want to do. These scraps can just all go into the compost. Okay, so what do you do? How can you use that soup stock that we've just made? What do you do with it? So what I would suggest you do is strain out the Chinese herbs from it. So the little pieces of dangwei that you get in there, and little pieces of the other herbs, like I said, you need to just kind of pick them out, or you've put them in that muslin bag, and then you can, you just pull that out, and that's easy. Then take the rest of all those vegetables and all that stock that you've made, so the liquid and the vegetables itself, and you can do one of two things. You can either just use it as a soup itself, as a very strong sort of stocky tasting soup, and it tastes delicious just like that. And so you just run that into the puree through a puree machine, or you can hand puree if you want to. So you can just mash it up, and it makes a very thick stock. Now, sometimes what I will do is then add the meat juice that we've done, like on one of the videos when I was making that, I made some slow cooked beef, or you might even have some bone broth or something like that. And you can pour some meat juice into it, and that'll make a really nice gravy. So you could just use that as a gravy by itself. So that instead of having to use flour or wheat or any sort of grain, you've actually just got like a paleo gravy. That's one thing you can do with it. You could use that stock and then put it with another vegetable. So after you've slow cooked it for a while, then you could quickly just add another vegetable in it. By quickly, I mean like maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You can do pumpkin, you could do root vegetables that this one here, this is a frozen cup of beetroot. And then what I would do is then that basically just makes a soup. And then I put them into little cups like this and freeze them in the freezer. Now these are just some ones that I pulled out of the freezer from before that I've made. So this is a beetroot soup. And then, or you can freeze the stock in little portions. Now I love these little cups because they're convenient. You can reuse them if you don't smash them when they come out. They're super convenient to use. And what that means is you don't have to have lids on them if you use them real quickly. Just keep them on the door of your fridge. That's what I do. And then if you're worried about the freezer burn, then you can just put a lid on them, or put them into just a normal sort of just a normal kind of container, or a Tupperware container or something like that. And you can freeze them in the portions. So then when you're cooking something and you need that stock, you can just use it like that, just like I used in that video when I was making something. I said instead of using chicken stock in the stir fry, I think it was in the chicken curry. Instead of using chicken stock, we used the veggie stock that was just made freshly there. So I hope that's been useful to you, and how to make a veg. So that's completely vegetarian. You can add meat into it if you want to as well. If you're into making bone broth or or a stock from bones, then you can kind of combine a bit of the two together if you like, and use the herbs in with that as well, or make a stew or something like that. So there's lots of different options for you, but just knowing how to make that simple veggie stock is really good for people who, let's say you are vegan or vegetarian, you want to start experimenting with cooking with herbs, adding different flavors that you might not be used to. So it's good for you in terms of you're consuming the goodness of those herbs, but you're also getting different flavors that you may it just makes life more interesting to eat different flavors, and then you're not having to add a lot of salt and sugar and things like that to get flavor. So I hope this has been useful and helpful to you, and if it has been, please leave a comment below. I love to see people's comments. If there's something you'd like me to make a video about, then put that in the comments, and feel free to share the videos with your friends or family, and above all, just make sure you subscribe. We're getting to 1,000 subscribers this year, and I want to help 1,000 people to know the benefits of Chinese medicine and how they can help themselves and be more healthy. So if you subscribe, you are one of those 1,000 people that I've helped this year. So if there's anything else that you'd like to know about Chinese medicine, put that in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you again on the next video.